An alliance against the Tigray People Liberation Front could be formally or informally established. Last few days, developments indicate that forces opposed to TPLF could join hands. Welcome to my views. Thanks for watching the channel. Two new stories in this video. Firstly, several developments in Tehran in the last few days indicate that several forces are trying to confront the TPLF. Secondly, Egypt-Somalia alliance formed a few months ago, last year rather, seems to be in danger. They were very warm, very excited about the alliance. Presidential meetings were held, foreign ministers were they met. No developments recently. Why? Reportedly, Egypt and Somalia are not on as good terms as they were last year. What happened? Let's start from Tigray, viewers, where developments of the last 4 to 5 days indicate that a broad anti-TPLF political come military alliance could emerge. Can this alliance bring about any change in Tigray? Can it weaken TPLF? That remains to be seen. Firstly, three opposition political parties issued a joint statement yesterday. Arena Party, Betona, and Tigray Independence Party. Their leaders held a joint press conference. They basically criticized Tadesse Varede, the president, the general, saying that Varede's government is led by one party. His cabinet is dominated by one party. Others have been excluded from the government. It's like a military regime. They criticized TPLF. The TPLF has been given the lion's share in the new interim government led by General Tadesse Varede. Uh, uh, 2 days ago, Salsevojene issued a statement. Salsevojene also rejected the interim government led by General Varede, saying it's non-inclusive. Tigray Advisory Council, which was renamed as Tigray Interim Council, is not being taken on board too. This council was established by Getachew and Sadkan. It's a representation of opposition parties, trade unions, religious groups. TPLF and military are not part of it. They boycotted the formation, the establishment of advisory council when Getachew and Sadkan formed it. This advisory council is not being consulted too. The advisory council members met with the US ambassador, other ambassadors, if you remember, a few days ago in Addis Ababa. They wanted to get support from international players that the council is not dismantled, that council gets some role in Tigray's government, but no role for this council too. So another related development is that Southern Tigray zonal government also issued a statement. Rather, they issued a video message 2 days ago. They briefed the people saying that this government led by General Tadesse Varede is not acceptable because it is dominated by one political party and military. There is no representation of other political players of Tigray. So you see, government in southern Tigray, southern zone government, Tigray Advisory Council, Salsevine, Betona, Arena, TIP, all are rejecting the new government, accusing the TPLF of dominating Tigray's politics. There is one armed player too, Tigray dissident fighters training, arming themselves in Afar. They also make similar demand. They say TPLF need to step aside. It has been dominating Tigray's politics. It is not giving equal space to other opposition, other parties in Tigray. So a broad anti-TPLF alliance could emerge. Signs are there. Uh, Varade is relying totally on TPLF. He thinks that if TPLF is behind him, TPLF is with him, he can rule. He can easily uh, complete his term, 1 year term. But he has been given a task. His task is to ensure that there is atmosphere for free, fair, transparent election in Tigray. How will the election be free, fair, and transparent? How can the election? I mean, there cannot be transparent election in Tigray if opposition is denied space. This is what is happening. The three parties yesterday said that their due political space is being denied. So, if there's no unity in Tigray involving all players, how will there be stability? There will be no stability. Where they will have to take all the groups on board, whether small or big, whether armed or political. Second words, another alliance in danger in the Horn of Africa. In the Horn of Africa, in this part of Africa rather, new alliances are formed quickly, and new alliances dismantle quickly as well. Last year, Eritrea, Somalia, Egypt formed an alliance when Ethiopia wanted to gain access to sea through Somaliland. The three presidents met in Asmara Declaration. They agreed on. Then their foreign ministers met in Egypt. Egypt was at the forefront of the alliance, Eritrea as well. Both wanted to stop Ethiopian regional ambitions. They had their own personal grievances against Ethiopia too. Things changed after Ethiopia withdrew from MOU with Somalia. It froze MOU with Somaliland. Turkey mediated. Ethiopia agreed to talk to Somalia, and the two started discussions about access to sea. Since then, Hassan Sheikh has been drifting closer to Ethiopia, drifting a little away from Egypt. Egypt was quick to support Somalia militarily. It sent loads of weapons to Somalia. It committed to deploy thousands of its troops in Somalia. It wanted deployment of its military on Somalia-Ethiopia border, Ethiopia post. Rather, it was proposed that Egyptian troops will be deployed to Middle Shabelle, over 1,000. It was decided. Middle Shabelle now is the most difficult zone for the security forces because there Al-Shabaab fighters are just sweeping across Middle Shabelle. They captured Adan Yabal few days ago. Egyptian troops were due to be deployed in Adan Yabal, which is under Al-Shabaab control. Then Adale, again in Middle Shabelle. Here too, Egyptian troops were planned to be deployed, but Al-Shabaab fighters are now trying to take control of it. So Al-Shabaab fighters have retaken territories in Middle Shabelle. Egyptian troops will have to fight on front lines now if they deploy to Middle Shabelle, or they will be deployed to other parts of Somalia. Burundi's troops are fighting on front lines, but they're set to withdraw. I think they'll withdraw. Ethiopian troops are there too. Egypt now is a little nervous. What should it do? Should it press ahead with deployment of its military in Somalia? Military could suffer losses. If Ethiopia is suffering losses because it shares border with Somalia in terms of military losses, if Ethiopian troops die in Somalia, Ethiopia is protecting its borders from Al-Shabaab. Why should Egypt sacrifice for Somalia? Now, this question is being asked while Hassan Sheikh is getting closer to Ethiopia. That is why Egypt-Somalia alliance in danger. Egypt reconsidering the closeness which it had with Somalia. Should it deploy its forces on front lines in Somalia as a war? Let's see what happens. Thanks for watching.